Hello all, it's Mark Ruggiero here, Clark Commando, 1983. And what you're looking at is the main piece of Grognard Simulations' Deathride Kursk. I'm playing the Lebensstraße July 11th scenario. And I zoomed in a little bit. What you're seeing is the main part of the battlefield. I've done the setup. I've completed the night turn. And what I want to do is I'm going to spend the next, hour or so. So you may or may not enjoy this video. Playing, trying to explain what I'm doing. Any mistakes are solely mine. Obviously, this is a wonderful platoon company level game, and I'm going to kind of be going through the sequence of play, and I'm going to try to show you some charts as I go, explain what I'm doing, and we'll see how far I get. I may only get through the German piece of the turn. For solitaire, there's a lot here. So I was able to play a 4-player of this a few days ago. And we got through the whole day. Starts off on a night turn, which is represents 4 hours. And the day turns represent 2 hours. The objective, and let's see, I don't believe you're going to be able to see it. Well, let's see. Looks like possibly. There's a blue line over here. And it doesn't look like it shows up that great on the video. It runs from here to here. The Germans get half of that line within the secondary range of their weapons. They win a marginal. If they get the whole line within range of their secondary weapons, they can win a higher level of victory. Off the map, which you can't see, is a division reserve that the Germans can use, but it knocks their victory level down 1. And the Russians also have a really nice motorized regiment they can use. There again, if they use it, it'll knock their victory. Now, honestly, you're going to spend the time playing this type of game. I think it's going to be kind of obvious who wins and loses. So, with that being said, let me go over optional rules I've mentioned in other videos. So, I am using it's optional, the command and control HQ range, which I'll show you a handy chart that's nice for that. I'm also using artillery assignments. I've used some dummy obstacles, minefields, and wire, which allows the Russian player to basically set up 25% more. But those are dummies, and there's various rules to detect those dummies. I'm also want to say, this is like one of my favorite systems. So what else? I'm also using artillery detection for the first time. Also using the optional bombardment rules for artillery, which replaces if you just play the standard game, there is basically you can use artillery. Straighten my stacks out a little bit here, OCD wargamers. Anyway, so normally if you play standard level on the game, you can use artillery to kind of like shoot at a hex, and it's treated kind of like a direct fire attack. And I want to use bombardment rules because I think that's a little bit better. I'm going to try to explain some of the rules as we go. I have other videos how to play. You can check them out on my channel. So let's go over a little bit of the situation. And I think you'll be able to, you said I went over the blue line. Main objective is down this road right here. Ultimate of Prokhorovka, which was the main objective of the Germans. I don't think in one day here they're going to get there. The Russians have orders to defend in place. That's their intent. And over here I have set up some Russians to do a counterattack, a limited counterattack. I have no idea if any of my strategy or my ideas are valid or even a good idea. So, that being said, I'm going to have a great time. And I want to welcome you aboard. So, we're going to start the July 11th 0400 turn. I'm also using casualties for the first time, which can impact victory levels, and it's just another layer. One thing I really love about this system, and I explain it in one of my other videos, is you can, there's like 4 different levels of complexity, and I'm playing standard with some optionals. There's all the way up to ultimate. With the enhancement packs, you get a whole air game by itself. So let's get started. So I'm going to show you, and it's going to look like a lot, but don't panic. So we have, let's see if we can get it in focus a little bit, the sequence of play, and we'll go through each piece. See how they're color coded? That reminds you of which rules. This looks really long, but I think you're going to see it's going to play fairly quickly. Okay. The version 2.5 rule, master rules for Deathride Kursk are available on Consim World under Deathride Kursk, and which is www.consimworld.com. And they're also available on Board Game Geek. Off the top of my head, I can't remember which core game. I think they're available if you were to go and look up Deathride Kursk Totenkampf. Might be Grossdeutschland, but they are there. So the first thing that happens is night weather, predetermination phase. Weather is predetermined for all the scenarios. It's overcast. The effects of overcast are going to be that our roll for air support for the day is going to be half. And in the scenario rules, the Lebensstrata, both sides get 40% of the air allocation. And I'm not going to be able to show you that piece. So the first thing, only because it's got counters on it and it's on another table. So, that being said, so the first thing we're going to do is roll for, see how many air counters each side gets. Okay, I'm going to roll 1 die each. There are modifiers. For July 11th, the Russians get a +3 to their die roll, and the Germans get a -3. So here we go. So -3 for the Germans, they roll a 9, so a 6. And a +3 for the Russians, they roll a 7, so they get a 10. When I look at the chart, that tells me that let's see, so Luftwaffe is going to get, let's see, we're going to take 28, and then 32 for the Russians. Okay, so 28 Germans and 32 for the Russians. It's overcast, so right off the bat, each one's going to be halved, and then they're going to get 40%. And you round down, I believe. So the Germans are going to get 5 air counters. What that means is each game comes with a set of air counters. Once again, I'm playing standard game air. So you can pick any 5 you want. The numbers on the face of the counters represent the die roll modifiers. And they can be, I'll show you how they're used here shortly. For the Russians, it's half of 32 is 16. So you can see there's not a lot of air. And so they're going to get 6 counters. So I'm going to go, of course, and pick the best counters they have. And hopefully, and the counter mix is 6. So the Russians have all 6. And the Germans are going to get 5. So they're going to take 2 of their 3s and 3 of their 2s. Let me show you the air counters really quick. And like I said, there's actually a whole separate air game. If you want to get into the ultimate level of the game, I'm going to show you the counters. So far we've used 11 minutes. Let's see. Oh, let me do this. Super exciting, but I want to show you. So, come on. Okay, you can see they're pretty basic. Sorry, it's a little fuzzy. There we go. The German counters look the same. A different color, of course. So this is all the air that they have available all day. So they're going to use it hopefully at critical moments. So the next thing up is would be your joint combat service support. Once daily, first daylight turn. For this scenario, most of this is taken care of. You would do reinforcements, so the Russians actually have some reinforcements that come on. You would do replacements, but not already done for this scenario. Reorganization. Supply determination, which I'm not using the supply rules. Fire support planning, which is the artillery. It's actually done, in this case, before the scenario starts. All right. So, yeah, we go through different things. So we're going to select air units for the turn and place in the ready box of the U.S. This is where you actually pick. So out of that 6 and 5, you kind of got to commit up front how much air you're going to use for the turn. So we are going to commit. I'm not going to commit any for the Russians at this point, just because I'm a little unsure. And I think for the Germans, I'm gonna. It may be a mistake, but I'm going to do the same. I'm going to see how things pan out a little bit. And like I said, we're pretty limited. So, all right. So now that it's the German turn, command and control phase. Everybody's in command. I'm going to show you so we don't have to go over all the rules. It's in the chart here. Okay, come on. Get in focus there. What is going on? Maybe I need to hold it back a little bit more. There we go. So you can see there, it says Command and Control HQ. So the number 9 there, that's the level of rules I'm using. And 9 is basically your combat units going back to their green battalion headquarters. And then the German battalions have to trace 15 hexes back to their blue headquarters, which are your regiments and whatnot. And then you have your corps and army, or corps headquarters, or back to that, right? And it gives you all that information right here. So it's a little bit hard to read. For the Russians, they're 10 back to battalion, and then 21 back to their blue headquarters. And then unlimited for their red and white, which are all the way up to army level. But I'm just using the basic. There's a whole other layer of rules that you can use for command and control. So that's that. All right, so operation phase. This is called battlefield operation systems. Below can be executed in any order. So you can maneuver, fire and overrun attacks. Defensive player can do defensive fire, overwatch, opportunity fire. Only the Germans have overwatch. Artillery fire, artillery support. So, and it's the Germans' turn. So basically, the thing I really like about this system is you can do anything in any order you want. It's not it's the movement phase, so let's do the movement, and then combat, right? Now it is, you do this, and then we'll go through a close assault phase, which we'll see if we get to. And then you do a suppression recovery phase. Suppression is the main result on the CRT. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So what I'm gonna do, I like to move myself from left to right. You can do right to left. I mean, it is solitaire that I'm playing. So obviously you can do pretty much what you would like to do. Well, you can do what you'd like to do. So that being said, I'm gonna commit. We have a motorized engineer here, which, well, you probably can't see it, sorry. But any unit, these are wire. And I'm gonna go left to right, okay? Any unit, even if they're suppressed, if they spend their whole turn, and you just kind of declare it, and they can remove the wire marker. So this engineer unit, I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, I do. I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and remove the wire, and that's what he's going to do, spend for his whole turn. And oh, look at that. You can't see it, but it's a dummy. And actually, smarter play would be, that's a recon unit. So I could ask, I'm going to do, hey, is that a dummy? And this gets revealed it's a dummy, so it goes away. So that doesn't eat up his whole turn. And like I said, I'm going to go left to right. The Germans are platoon level units. And I know I'm going to commit the bottom platoon here to a turn of working to remove. Now I clarified this with Chris, the designer. If a unit commits the turn, and this is using the basic rules, to removal of a wire marker, you can remove it at any time during the operations phase. So that being said, that's going to go away. I'm going to commit, see if this is a dummy, this is a reach unit. No, but we'll commit him to removing that wire. And like I said, we're going left to right. Here I am going to, this engineer is working on removing this mine marker. That takes 2 turns. So to mark the first turn, I'm just going to turn the engineer sideways. If they get suppressed, they won't be able to do it, so we'll see. But they won't be able to continue, but they can mark it. I want to get rid of, let's see, maybe I won't be able to do that this turn. No, these guys are, well, you probably can't see, these are mechanized infantry, and they're flipped on their movement side right now, and I got really fortunate. I was able to get through this minefield between the minefields without any suppressions. So that being said, I'm going to, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to, you can move and fire, or fire and move. And I'm going to have to spend, let's see. This is where you got to give it some thought. So I'm going to keep going with the obstacle removal first. So we're going to turn this engineer, represent, he's spending the turn, taking this out. These guys are all suppressed. Nobody to really shoot at. So I'm going to just declare for simplicity the bottom guy there. I could move, but I don't want to move into the wire, so they're going to spend the bottom unit, and that's another dummy. No recon unit there, so. And what I did, since I'm playing solitaire, I kind of distributed the dummies manual, randomly. So, all right. So another engineer unit. No, there's two engineers here. So I'm actually gonna turn, mark that we're doing minefield removal, and the other engineer, I'm gonna use him to remove this wire. Those guys are used up for the turn. And we'll keep going down the road here. Let's see. Let's try to get rid of as much. So I'm going to commit. I have a platoon that I'm going to commit in this hex. Get rid of this wire. Remember, each turn's 2 hours, so I don't know that that's totally unreasonable. So anyway, so we're good here. So now we're going to go back and work left to right. And like I said, we could do anything in this phase. I haven't, and it might be a big mistake, I did not assign any artillery to my recon units, which are up here. So first thing we're going to do is, and notice when these guys got suppressed, they're flipped. So we're going to, I'll show you the fire chart. We're going to go ahead and fire this stack right into this. So we have, all right, so you're going to get your first lesson, I guess. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I am. So, might as well make it worthwhile. So, one of the things that happens, and there again, I'm not saying this is the best play, but this is some of the stuff I'm going to try. Thank you for listening if you're still here. So, there's math involved. So, you have weapon types. This is Deathride Kursk firepower table. And you have different firepower types. Come on, there we go. And depending on what target type, it gives you a multiple, okay? And that determines what your firepower strength is. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this. Let's see. These are medium targets, aren't they? Okay. What I'm talking about is each unit, the up far right is the defense. So, and there's a medium target, this Russian tank, and there's a soft target, the infantry. So I can't target both of them in the same firepower attack. You can only, in a direct fire attack, do one. So, and I kind of want to get these guys, see if I can lay down some damage on them. So these guys have these platoons, these cavalry platoons, have 1 firepower at 4 hexes and 4 at 2 hexes. So I'm at short range. Anything within the secondary range is short range. I'm going to go ahead and shoot at the, now let's see what I'm going to shoot at. Looking at the thing, it's so, let's see, armor with a minus weapon or all other units. If the target's soft, secondary will be doubled if I'm adjacent, and then the primary is single. If I shoot at the medium target, you're halved, and the primary weapon's 1.5. So you have some choices there, but I think, you know, so in the interest of speed, which I know is a relative term, oh, and I'm going to be, my firepower is going to be knocked down because of the 1 suppression by 20% because I'm soft. If it was armor or something, it'd be 10%. So that being said, all right, so we're going to go with, I want to shoot up the infantry company because honestly, the medium, I mean, the majority of my stuff will be halved instead of doubled. So 20% of 4, I should be, know this, 4 times 0.2 equals, so basically it's going to be worth 3. So I have 3, 6, oh, that's a 3 factor, so 7, 8. I used this guy to remove the wire. So that's 8. It's going to be doubled to 16. So it'll be like 17. And I'm doubled because of the secondary range is when you're adjacent. So 17. Maybe that wasn't such a good idea going after the soft target. But I think in the end, it's about the same. So like a little over half to 1. I'm going to show you the fire combat chart. And then we're going to figure out the modifier. So if you look, come on now, cooperate with the, there we go. You can see less than 2/3, less than or equal to 1/3. Right, and you see greater than or equal to 1/2 there, and so we're going to need a 7 or better on a 10-sided dice. Now I'm going to go through the modifiers, and there's the Deathride die roll modifier table track has all this on it. I'm going to read them out. So let's see, enfilade fire, no, because we're firing through 1 hex side, may not be, I am adjacent, so I get a +2 to the die roll. Yeah, fire is elite, nope. Oh wait, yes I am elite, so that's another +2. I'm used to playing the Russians, only their guards are elite in this particular. body, but these are SS. Target in a river hex, no. Target in a mine hex, no. Fire is above target, which is a positive, no. Target is in a wire hex, no. Target is in a stream hex. I have no close air support, because remember we didn't commit any air today. Patrol track modifier. So the scenario says the Germans get a patrol modifier of +1 for the first 2 daylight turns. So they're going to get another +1. So we're up to +5. We're not. Oh, smoke. We didn't really smoke. Maybe I should have done that. Yeah. Well, all right. We'll go back to that in a minute. So we're going to skip the smoke modifiers. The fire is below the target by 1 level. This contour line, so that's going to be a -1. So now I'm at +4. Target's dug in, no. I'm not firing after moving, so we're, right, I'm just firing. Target's dug in, no, it's not opportunity or defensive fire. I want to note one thing that's not on the chart here. There's an optional, it's normally a -3. There's an optional, you can make it a -2. And opportunity fire, of course, is defensive fire, which we're not doing. Or it's not defensive fire, sorry. That's a whole separate thing. But opportunity fire. And there's an optional rule, which I'm considering proposing in my group to use for infantry. Like the armor, yeah, -3 makes sense if you're shooting at them while they're on the move. Infantry, you lower it either to a 0 or a +1, actually, if they're in the open. So I'm going to talk to my group about that. Target's fortified, no, it's not a night turn. The fire is suppressed, so I get a -1 for the suppression. So now we're at +3. And last but not least, the target's using withdrawal movement. No, withdrawal movement's a special kind of movement, which I'm not going to get into the rules, but it's kind of a way for you to extract your guys. So you get a -5 if somebody's shooting at you. All right, so that being said, the final DRM is +3. So I'm going to roll a dice. I got a 4. And a 7 greater than or equal to half is 1 suppression. So we're going to score 1 suppression on the soft target there. Suppressions, like I said, suppressions give you a effects of suppression. If those guys were in some kind of move mode, they'd immediately be flipped to their non-move side. For soft or infantry, each suppression lowers their firepower by 20%. It also gives their defense a +1 because they're hugging the ground a little tighter for each one. So that just up there. And it's placed on their red side. So that being said, let's see. All right, so that's shooting. Direct fire attack. Hopefully I'm not boring you all to death. I'm even kind of maybe distracting myself a little bit here. So the Germans obviously want to do some movement. I think we're going to try to do some bombardment. So we're going to look for... we're going to do some bombardment here. I can show you the optional bombardment table. So let me look. And I could do a fire and then add some artillery. I think that I want to try, because you treat everything as a soft target. And these are, by the way, the Russians are company level. So they're equivalent to 3 platoons each, okay? And that means there's equivalent of 6 platoons in each of these hexes. So they're kind of stacked up a little bit. So what we're going to do here is, that's a very good point. So, by the way, these are 88s, and they're on their move side. And, very interesting. So these guys, these are on a hill. Ooh, actually, did I screw that up? No, I didn't. They're below them. Okay. These guys are all on the same level. Sorry, mumbling. So, let's see. You can see there's some thought process, which I apologize. I couldn't have everything, but I'm trying to give you a live experience. How about that? So I think let's try to bombard so we can, oh shoot, let's see. I really want to bombard or just shoot and then move. I think I'm going to shoot and then move. And we're going to, let's see here. So this hex here, and we're not going to be doubled. Let's just try a bombardment so I can show you the how that works. So this is the 2nd SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment. That's what part of this. So it's actually, it goes, platoon, company, battalion, and then the regimental designation. So we're 2 hexes away. We're going to be shooting at these 2 guys because there's soft targets with this hex. And there again, there may be a better way to do this, but I'm going to move and fire. Or fire and move. So I'm not going to get the penalty for movement because I haven't moved yet. So basically these are 6, 12, 18, 18, 24, okay. So it's 24. I'm gonna, for argument's sake, because I can't remember, I just kind of screwed up. I should have marked them with KTX markers where I removed wire from. So I got a strength of 24. And we're gonna go ahead and just shoot at the anti-tank gun because my goal is, there again, may not be smart, but I want to try to get suppressions on the hex. And then I'm going to move up, and we'll get some, hopefully, I want to, may not be smart, but I want to show you guys an assault. So, we'll see if that happens. This may end up being a 2-part video. So like I said, 24, I'm going to shoot at the anti-tank gun only, which is 16, so that's 1.5 to 1. We're going to go through the modifiers again, and let's see here. So those guys are actually on a 1 higher, so there's no enfilade. I'm not adjacent. I'm not elite. I'm not going to go through everything. I got no clearance air support. I get a patrol modifier +1. And let's see here. Patrol modifier. Targets in the woods. I'm 1 level higher, so that's another +1. Fire after moving. No, I'm firing and then moving. So that doesn't count. I'm not suppressed. So I'm going to get a +2 to the die roll. Oh, an elite. I am elite. What am I saying? I'm so used to playing the Russians. So +4 to the die roll. And I rolled an 8, which comes out to a 12. And we're going to pull out the handy dandy fire table. And I got a 12. I'll show you the 1.5 to 1. So that's going to be 2 suppressions on the anti-tank unit. And so we're going to pull out a suppression marker, and we're going to mark the anti-tank unit. That's to help me get a modifier if I happen to assault that hex, which is probably not smart, but I may just do it just to show you guys how it works. We'll see. All right, so then I said they were firing and then moving, except for the one, I'm assuming I had one platoon that was there to remove wire. Can't remember. Like I said, I should have used markers to mark the hex where I removed wire. So now them moving forward allows an opportunity fire attack. Okay. Oh boy, 40 minutes in already. Sorry guys. And so opportunity fire is basically the defender can pick a unit or a hex and shoot back and shoot at them. So the Russians obviously want to shoot back. And if you, I know you can't see it, but going left to right, this is a really nice infantry company. It's going to shoot with 9 factors at 2 hexes. And so they're adjacent, so that's short range, so they'll be doubled. So that's 18. And then the primary weapon's a 6. At short range is a single. So that's going to be 24. And the anti-tank gun, it's going to throw in maybe another factor. I'm not going to worry too much about the exactness of the math. So say 25. Now if I shoot at the whole stack, they're going to defend at 20, 30, 40. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to get some good pluses. So when I declare the assault, I could, for the attacker, I could just leave the suppressed guys out. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot at the whole stack. And there again, may not be the best idea, but I'm adjacent, gives me a +2. I get a +1 on the die roll because I'm in a stream. Now here's the big deal, and I'm going to say where I'm using the optional rule where movement in the open, you know what, it might sound kind of harsh, but I think it's a little more realistic. Was going to do another +1. Now that's an optional rule. I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot this game. The shooter is not suppressed because actually I'm not including the anti-tank gun. And so like I said, it's 24 to 40, so it's going to be a little over. It's going to be on the greater than or equal to a half. And I'm going to get a +4 on the die roll. And so we'll pick us a nice dice for the Russians to roll. And they roll a big fat 2. So even with a +4, they're just missed getting a result. So maybe a mistake, but literally a 3 or higher, they would have done something to the stack. So, and there's markers that show, there are markers I could be placing to show who fired and whatnot, but I'm choosing not to do that right now. All right, so that's that stack. So now I'm going to have, I want the Germans to pick off some of these tanks. So we're going to pull this stack here. Got me a nice little Tiger here. And these are awesome. These submachine gun units, which you can't see, but they're rated. They have 0 firepower for primary, and they have 5 out to 1 hex. Now, what's great about the submachine gun units is in assault, they're tripled, right? Now, they have to get up adjacent, so we'll see what happens. But I'm going to fire move this stack, and there again, the bottom platoon. I'm going to, I want to, excuse me. lay some smoke down. I could show you guys smoke, couldn't I? Let's see here. Firing into the smoke hex. That'll block my line of sight. I'm gonna fire and then move. And there again may not be the best strategy. But I have a tiger who's a plus weapon. Here again, I'll show you the chart. And we're in 45 minutes already out, so this is going to be a 2-part video that probably nobody's going to watch. Armor with a plus, German only, shooting at a medium target. And I'm sorry it's out of focus. Oh, there we go. There we go. See, armor with a plus, German only. And if I shoot at their tank, it's doubled at short range and 1.5 at long range. And then the secondary is a half. So we're going to shoot, and we're going to shoot the Panzer, the Tiger, and we are going to shoot it at, we'll shoot it at this medium target here, so he defends with 18. I'm at short range for sure. So primary's doubled to 16, and my secondary weapon is 16 is halved. So that's 18.5. So that's a 1-to-1, basically. Okay. Yeah. 1-to-1. And there again. Don't know if this is the best idea, but we're shooting here. And that will be a 1-to-1. So let's go through the modifiers. No enfilade. Target is adjacent. No, I'm elite, so that gives me a +2 to the die roll. We're on the same level. No close air support. Target in the town. Firing after moving. Target dug in. All right, so here we go. +2 to the die roll. I rolled a 9 this time. No, I'll show you the combat table here. It's not linear, but a 1-to-1 with a 9 with a +2 is 11 is going to score 2 suppressions on the tank. I'm going to show you. Come on, there we go. All right, 1-to-1. You see the die rolls. But if you look, okay, don't move it so much more. Come on, my camera sucks, you know. Oh my goodness. I really apologize, guys. I don't know why it's not. There we go. It's not linear, the combat results. So that's going to place 2 suppressions on that tank. No way in what I'm showing you is ideal play, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what I love about the dynamics of the game, of the system. So, I said I was going to shoot and move. We shot. This unit's going to get 2 suppressions put on him. Now, we can defensive fire. And we're going to go ahead and have the, let's see here. Well, short range would be doubled, right? Let's look. I actually get this kind of memorized. Secondary would be doubled. So 4 would be 9. Okay. We'll shoot. Yeah. The infantry hit him. So, oh, it's a medium target. Now notice the anti-tank gun. surprised that's not heavy armor. But, oh, maybe that's not a tiger. I thought it was. Huh. I think it is. But they're not heavy armor. Interesting. Okay. So, I've got secondary 1.5. So, half of 9 is 4.5, so 13, 19, 24, 5, 6, 7, 28. 1.5 to 1. I have a height advantage is +1. I'm adjacent's +2. Now this is a vehicle, so that puts it to +3. Also another +1 because the target's in a stream. And then it's going to be -3 for the speed. And so we get a +1. Russian player rolls a 7, an 8, at 1.5 to 1. Ooh, X, but it's an X result, which normally kills the unit, but because it's I included the infantry to shoot, the best result they can get is a 2 suppression. So that comes there. Puts 2 suppressions. So good roll. Good rolling and poor tactics. All right, so now I said I was gonna show you something I really like, how you do things in any order. And once again, this is not ideal play, okay? I'm doing this as an example, and I actually don't think anybody's gonna watch this video, but I'm having a good time doing it, so hey, right? All right, so what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and I have to use artillery to do it. So Germans have 9 smoke markers, and the Russians also, but they didn't use any in their turn. So, and I'm using an optional rule where you're not guaranteed to get all your smoke. But what I am going to do is I want to protect myself. My goal is to eventually get to a point where I'm going to have to get kind of lucky to get all the smoke to land, by the way. So we're going to fire some artillery back here. 1, 2, 3. That's quite a bit, isn't it? We can use general support artillery for the second. It says Panzer Grenadier. Which regiment? Which battalion? Sorry. There I am mumbling to myself. These are all I can spot. 2nd Battalion. So using our big guns. Oh, there we go. Nebelwerfer and a Nebelwerfer can be used to shoot 2. They can shoot smoke. Okay. That's from direct support for the 2nd Battalion. Oh yeah, let's make sure. Nope, see, don't have the right. Oh boy, I screwed this up. 3rd Battalion. Well, that must be a 3, huh? Sorry guys, there again, I'm hallucinating, I think. Yes, 3rd Battalion. Okay, so that would be these guys. I'm going to use up some pretty decent 2s to lay that smoke, but it's worth it, I think. Okay, So now the optional rule. If you were not using this, it would land and you're in business. So we're going to go left to right. I need to roll 5 or less. So left to right. Ooh, it stays. Does not stay. And stays. So you get to use all 9 to turn. So this smoke marker was not successful. So I'm going to place it over here. Used it up for this turn. Now, and I think I'm about run out of my hour almost. So what smoke does is it blocks line of sight. Okay. And you can shoot out of it at a -1 or into it, right? Let's hope I don't get this backwards. Always get it backwards at a -2. Let's see here, firing out of smoke hex. Yeah, firing into smoke hex. So I did that because my submachine gun units, I want to move up and I want to shoot here. So we're going to move them up as a stack. Okay. Now I'm going to get some opportunity fire, which I think I'll do with this hex here. So it's going to be, they have a height advantage too. It's going to be 18, 24. 24 plus 9 is 24 plus 9 is 33. I'm going to shoot at 1. So it's just shy of 3 to 1. So it's going to be 2.5 to 1 against one of the submachine gun platoons. So we're adjacent. Another +1 for the another +1 because they're in a stream hex. Another +1 because they have height advantage over them. And this is going to be ugly. Another +1 because he did height advantage. I did the stream. They're going to get that for the opportunity fire, an actual +1. And they're going to go down 2. So +3. All right, let's see. Now this is against 1 platoon. And 8 +3. It's going to be ugly. 11. And that wipes it out. And that was their target. If there had been anybody else they were shooting at and gotten that result. And by the way, that's 50 guys for the casualties rule. We're going to come over here and mark that. And here we go, 50. Okay. But if they had gotten that result, say against the whole stack, it would have been the X result. And for that particular one, then the rest of the stack would have suffered a suppression, or the rest of the guys in the. That's the way I understand it. So those guys bravely led the charge. All right, so what we're going to do at this point is we're not at the close combat. The video's already at least an hour long. So I'm going to go ahead and start uploading it, label it part 1. If you're interested, what I'm going to try to do is play through enough to get to the close combat. And then I'll bring back part 2 and do a close combat result. And if anybody actually watches this video, thank you. And if not, I totally understand. So that being said, I think that's it. And what I'll do is I'll try to give some highlights. Okay? All right. Hey, thank you guys. Hope I didn't do too much mumbling. It's kind of difficult to do.